The stars looked different from Exile. Not brighter, not darker, just indifferent. Jarek Kallis had spent his life in service to the Helioran Empire, a sprawling interstellar civilization built on rigid law, loyalty, and obedience. Yet here he was, condemned to the outermost edge of known space, banished for a crime that had been more accident than treason. His sentence: 1 year alone aboard a failing patrol vessel, cast out to monitor uncharted systems without backup or supplies. Alone, that was the word that haunted him. He had survived skirmishes, ambushes, and hostile diplomacy before, but the emptiness of the void was different. The silence weighed on him like gravity itself. The first week passed in monotony. Jarek repaired his ship's life support systems, catalogued asteroid clusters, and drifted through nebulae with no one to witness the vastness around him. Then he found her. The distress signal was faint, almost imperceptible, coming from a small, uncharted moon orbiting a gas giant in the Cerethus system. Something or someone was alive there. Jarek's curiosity outweighed caution, and he altered course. The moon's surface was jagged and cratered, scarred by centuries of meteor impacts. In a narrow canyon he found her. A Helioran princess. Or at least, that's what the markings and insignias on her armor suggested. She was young, barely more than a teenager, her eyes wide with fear and defiance. Chains of glowing energy tethered her to a massive alien device that hummed ominously, pulsing with power that could obliterate the canyon walls in seconds. "Who are you?" Jarek called from a safe distance, hand hovering over his blaster. The princess's eyes narrowed. "You don't belong here. Leave or you will die too." Her voice was melodic, alien, but understandable through the translation implant in Jarek's ear. "I could say the same to you," he replied. "But I didn't come here to fight. Came to survive. And right now, helping you is the best way to do that." Her expression didn't soften. If anything, it hardened. "You're banished. Or weak. Why should I trust you?" Jarek didn't answer immediately. He assessed the device holding her captive. Its energy patterns were erratic, unstable. One wrong move and it could kill them both. Yet he had no choice. To leave her meant leaving a danger in the system, a risk that might track him anyway. To act meant touching powers he did not fully understand. Survival demanded risk. Minutes stretched into hours as Jarek worked to free her. He studied the device's runes, recalibrated energy flows, and carefully adjusted the alien locks. The princess watched him like a hawk, muttering curses and warnings under her breath. At first, he ignored them, focusing on stabilizing the energy. Finally, with a loud hum, the chains dissolved. She collapsed into the dirt, coughing and gasping for breath. "You saved me?" she asked, incredulous. Jarek shrugged. "Surviving alone gets boring fast. Thought I'd try company." She glared, but he noticed a flicker of something in her expression. Relief. The journey back to his ship was tense. Every movement they made set off faint tremors in the moon's crust, and he realized the device had been a beacon, capable of attracting hostile forces. He kept his blaster ready, watching for patrols or predators. She followed reluctantly, arms crossed, eyes scanning constantly. Once aboard, he offered her food and water. She hesitated, then accepted. As she ate, her posture softened, and for the first time, Jarek saw her as more than a symbol of royalty. She was a person, frightened, brave, and curious. Over the following days, an uneasy alliance formed. The princess, named Kaelis, had been sent to the moon as part of a diplomatic mission gone wrong. Her escort had been ambushed by mercenaries, and she had been left alone, chained to the device as part of a cruel ploy to extract ransom from the Helioran Empire. Jarek, despite being a banished outcast, had become her only chance at survival. "I didn't think I'd survive this," Kaelis admitted one night, staring out at the stars from the freighter's observation deck. "And now, I owe my life to you. A banished human." Jarek smirked. "Don't get sentimental. I saved you because it kept me alive. Not because I'm noble." She laughed softly, a sound so rare and humanizing that it startled him. It wasn't the laugh of royalty. It was genuine, a childlike relief that even in the darkest reaches of space, life could persist. Their journey back to Helioran space was fraught with peril. Mercenary ships, scavenger drones, and even hostile planetary defenses attempted to intercept them. But together, Jarek and Kaelis managed to navigate the dangers. She offered knowledge of hidden passages and routes through military blockades, while he piloted the ship with precision and intuition. Each danger they survived strengthened their bond, transforming reluctant trust into respect, then into something deeper. In the quiet moments, Kaelis began to teach Jarek the intricacies of Helioran culture, court etiquette, and political nuance. He taught her how to operate his freighter systems, repair engines, and survive on minimal supplies. They were equals in exile, forced to rely on one another in ways neither had imagined. By the time they reached Helioran space, Jarek no longer saw Kaelis as a princess, nor did she see him simply as a banished soldier. They were companions forged in adversity, tempered by danger and bound by choice. The Helioran Empire was unprepared for their arrival. Kaelis, having been presumed lost or dead, was celebrated as a survivor. Mercenaries were captured or routed. And Jarek, the story of his banishment was overshadowed by the heroism of his unexpected alliance. His sentence remained official, but the narrative had shifted. He was no longer merely a criminal. He was a survivor, a protector, a symbol of humanity's unexpected value in the galaxy. As Kaelis returned to her duties in the imperial court, she found time to visit Jarek in his exile quarters, bringing news of political changes and opportunities to regain his status. But more than that, she brought something else. Companionship, understanding, and the promise that survival alone was no longer his fate. "You changed me," Jarek said one evening, watching twin moons rise over Helioran spires. Kaelis smiled. "And you saved me. Maybe that's what survival really means. Not just staying alive, but learning to live again." Jarek realized she was right. In the vast emptiness of space, survival was not measured in days or weeks. It was measured in connections, in trust, in the choices that bound people together. By saving her, he had rediscovered not just life, but the meaning of living. And as the stars stretched endlessly above them, Jarek Kallis understood that sometimes exile and misfortune lead to discoveries far greater than freedom. Sometimes they lead to the heart.